Those two are now 2.5 or 3 clear of a Fleet Ruler. Brady Blue Eyes at the rail. Rush with Thunder is still 5th and last, 4.5 lengths behind Sky Victor and Bruce's Dream. Sky Victor is still a half length in front. Bruce's Dream has every chance outside of him. Brady Blue Eyes at the rail, 3 off the lead, a Fleet Ruler outside of him, final furlong, and here's Bruce's Dream to join Sky Victor. These two sprint along. Off Fleet Ruler's only a length and a half back end, closing. Bruce's Dream strikes the front and sprints away. Bruce's Dream, a Fleet Ruler up into second. Bruce's Dream, yes.
Racehorse people will talk about a look of eagles, and that's a horse that kind of sees beyond you. And he is not one to have a fearful look. He has a very Bruce is in charge, and I think that's really attractive. I met Bruce. I was going down to a farm down in Solvang to pick up another horse, and the farm owner. The farm manager said, "Joelle, there's a very special horse here, and I think he needs to be with you." And that was Bruce. And Bruce had spent a lot of his career at that farm because Bruce would, as I understand it, Bruce would race so hard he would hurt himself, and he would have to go back to the farm to heal and rest, and then he would go back and he would race again so hard he would hurt himself, and he would come back. And there have been 2 horses in my whole career where people wept when the horse left the farm. And that was Bruce.
When jockeys get hurt out there, they get hurt because the horses go down, have a catastrophic injury. So if we can prevent catastrophic injury in horses, then we can help prevent catastrophic injuries to jockeys. The fact of the matter is that 9 out of 10 of those horses that have a catastrophic injury out there, it's very difficult for us to detect those, and very difficult for the trainers to detect because these injuries exist at the microscopic level, and in a very short period they go from microscopic into macroscopic injuries. So we examine and re-examine these horses to try to detect if we see problems. And what we do here is when we see those horses that are slightly off or have problems after the race, we place them on the veterinarians list, and then those horses have to go through a couple of examinations. They have to work 5/8 of a mile, and they have to go through a blood test to determine if those horses are fit to race again.
You can get the soundest horse in the world, and if they're racing and they just get bumped a little bit and they put their foot down wrong, it can cause a problem. Some people think medication, too much medication and over racing and overtraining is a problem. But again, it depends on the individual horse. Some horses thrive on training and thrive on running often. I mean, the key with horses is to be able to communicate with them and let them communicate with you. They don't speak English, I don't speak horse. So it's done by watching them, understanding, like I said earlier, each horse has their own characteristics. If they are out there playing all the time and one day they go out there and they just look dull, it's a good sign that when he gets back to the barn, better take a close look at him and, you know, find out if, did he eat last night? Is he eating? Is he running a temperature? Go over him, check the limbs, the joints, because when a horse's character changes, when they're consistently one way all the time and all of a sudden it changes and it's more on the quiet side, it's a good indication something's bothering the horse.
But the racetrack here, in my opinion, is one of the safest racetracks in the whole U.S. in terms of our level of catastrophic breakdowns.
I don't think that the racing itself is as hard on a horse's body as some of the other sports that we do with horses, where they have to do a lot of twisting and turning and going over irregular ground. But most of these horses do go on to have another career when they're done at the track. So even though racing seems strenuous, you know, horses are actually designed to be on the plains running, you know, going in straight lines, not in tight circles. So racing is more like what they evolved as than are some of our other sports.
How do we help people understand that this is a breed that is sensitive and smart and trainable and kind? If a horse has been at the racetrack, he's been exposed to so many things. A thoroughbred has seen cars and tractors and bicycles and crowds and people carrying umbrellas. And so the other amazing thing about thoroughbreds that are bred on good farms is that they're exposed to humans from the minute that they're born. And so, and we've bred them for heart. And as a result, they tend to connect to humans really, really quickly in a way that is a little tougher for horses that don't have that exposure. So the thoroughbred really sees a human as part of his tribe from day one.